Do-do-do-do, it's Camdork.
Hello everyone, this is Camdork, and welcome to episode 35 of Season 2 of my Buildcraft, where we play Minecraft with the mods Buildcraft, Thermal Expansion, and Forestry installed. So, it has finally happened. What we are looking at right now is the bottom of the oil well. So, remember that little patch of oil in the front of our base? Yep, it's fresh out. Fresh out of oil. So we can go ahead and seal this thing up pretty much because, yeah, it has no more use. So way up there is where the geyser was. And this whole area was basically spawned and filled with oil. And we used it all up. So we still have plenty of fuel, or at least a remainder of fuel left. But it makes it very timely last episode where we are starting to work on a way of renewing this resource. Or a way of generating energy with a renewable type of resource, which would be ethanol or biofuel and biomass. So that's actually really good that we ended up doing that. I didn't realize we were this low. I knew we were kind of starting to run low, but not quite this low. But yeah, as you see, we still have some oil, and we still do have some fuel left as well, a fair amount of fuel. So we're not really too much into dire straits yet, but soon to be. I bet all the energy usage from the quarry over there in the pyramid base kind of didn't help this situation either. But anyway, so let's go ahead and see. So today we are going to sort of recall that what we needed for biomass or ethanol production was a good way of generating saplings, which we did last episode in terms of making a nice tree. We also did some tree breeding to create papayas, and a good way of creating a lot of papayas. So that means we got juice, we got saplings, and now it's time for mulch. Now we can use fertilizer, but I'd like to use mulch. And so with mulch, that means we gotta make farms. And this seems to be the logical space because this is kind of the forestry wing, if you recall. It was where I kind of wanted to have farms here, and I kind of have an idea for a setup and the way I want this kind of area to look. So we're going to be working on that today. In order to make mulch, we actually need wheat, and that's where this is going to be. This is going to be our wheat farm. It'll be a humble, small farm, but it'll generate plenty of wheat, and I only say that as well because we have plenty of bees generating wheat as well, so that'll work. And over here I'm just going to put in a melon farm because, you know, I don't have one of those yet, and I'm going to want some glistering melons for the eventual want of producing health potions, and maybe we'll hook that up in the third automated, brewing machine over there. But anyways, I got my farm blocks all ready to go, and I think I've kind of been through setting up farms before. We set up this guy, we set up the tree farm, and plenty of other people have set up farms. So let me just go ahead and set them up. I'll configure them and set them up proper. So we'll spend most of our time looking at how do we automate the moistener and the production of wheat. So let's get to it. I'm going to do some excavation a little bit here and continue onward. So I've marked out where I'm going to put these farm blocks, and basically this is an area right next to the nether wart farm over there. So yeah, it runs the whole length here, and we're going to connect it up to the power, and it's going to be nice and fun. All right. So I'll see you guys in a bit, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. So the farms are basically set up, at least the layout of them. I decided that I would do a manual farm for both of these. Oh good, we have some stuff already. But I decided we'd do a manual farm for both of these, and what that means is that you can do in forestry, with these multi-block farms, you can do what's called either manual farms or managed farms. Managed farms are this is a managed farm. It's automatic completely. Planting and harvesting are completely automated. Same with the tree farm. It just plants everything everywhere, and then whenever tree grows, it harvests it, and then it plants another one. It's completely automatic. A manual farm is not as labor-intensive as it sounds. It just allows you to specify specifically the orientation of things. So in this case, I could specify exactly where I wanted the water and everything, and so it makes sense for wheat in order to get the maximal input. And for melons and pumpkins, it's the only way you can actually do it. There is no managed melon or pumpkin farm. So I decided to do them both managed both manual, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the setup here. So anyways, this is a soldering iron. You need a circuit board. We're going to use whoa, wait a minute. Give me that circuit board back. Okay, right click anywhere. We need to give it a circuit board. We need to specify that is not a managed, but a manual farm. And in this case, we can make it it's a gourd farm. All right, cool. And then in this case, we're going to do a bronze one. Will give us a crop farm, which will make wheat. All right, cool. So now I have to specify, and in order to do that, I think I can just put it there. Yeah, this is it. Okay, crop farm. We're making wheat. It knows it makes wheat. It turns into a wheat, and it gives us crop farm. All right, good, good. And then in this case, this one is going to be our gourds farm and melons, etc. So cool. All right, so that should work fine. Let's go down and see what I have down there. It's really just basic stuff for now. We're gonna automate and kind of worry about setting all this up in a more specialized manner in a bit. But for now, we just have this set up. They're actually turned off, so let me go ahead and turn them on. I don't think anything will happen right now because there's really nothing to do. This one actually should start harvesting things, so it should start collecting any minute now. Come on, it should start. Should harvest those melons. Ah, there they go. Okay, good, good. Yeah, I saw some melons. Okay, this is working great. And this one should be working eventually once we grow those wheat. So let's see. Let's actually go up there and see if it's growing. We can hurry it along because we can fertilize it. Which is actually, I think, what I will do. Let me grab some fertilizer. I think I can grab it. It's over, I think I got some over here. And I think there's some in the seed farm. Oh, yeah. I'll just get a little bit. Just want to grow a few things. I just want to see if it's gonna actually grow. And then we'll be well on our way. All right, so I'm going to try to grow one of these into wheat. All right, should be harvested. Give it some time. There it goes. And does it replant? I think it replants it. So let me give it some seeds. I think they go in here, if I remember correctly. Come on, seeds. There you go. All right, see? Yeah, all right, so it replants it. And I think when it does harvest, it puts the seeds back here until it's full of seeds, I think. It could also spit it back into the chest. So anyways, let's right before I leave and continue on here, let's kind of look in our chests and see if we got stuff. Should have worked. Yep, okay, piece of wheat. Great, great. And then there's some melons and everything here. Okay, that's good. We're obviously not going to collect them down here. I'm going to pipe this up somewhere else, but I'll show you what I want to do with the farm area here. So I'm going to actually just set that up a little bit off this recording, and because it's not as vital to the this episode. Really, the purpose of this episode is setting up things, but I want to get to the moistener because I want to mess with that one. So I'll be right back. Well, I finished setting up some things. I think you guys are going to like it. It's not completely finalized, but here it is. Here's the little setup. This is what I was envisioning, a little platform where I can walk, and yeah, this kind of thing. I actually think it looks pretty cool. Like I said, I'm going to have to redo some of this. The proportions aren't quite right up here either, but you know, the idea is the same. So let's just get up there. This is, by the way, these golden planks. This is really awesome. It works well with this sandstone. I think it like really brightens up the place. It's the papaya wood slabs. Yeah, cool. Excuse me. So anyway, what next? Well, next is going to be the moistening phase. Well, that doesn't sound right, but basically, we need to take this wheat and turn it into mulch. And in order to do that, we need what's called a moistener. Let's just plop one of these puppies right down right here. It's a moistener! Hooray! This is confusing, right? No recipe. What do you mean a recipe? I don't understand. Yeah. So the moistener is basically you need water. You need something to moisten. You need like a fuel source, and basically it's wheat, and something to turn into something else. A moistener, in order for it to actually function to turn wheat into mulch, we have to make something moist. I don't know, some sort of substrate, we'll call it. Basically, that's going to be cobblestone because it's free, and we're going to get mossy cobble out of this. So this is going to make us mulch. It's also going to make us mossy cobble, which is kind of cool. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make this whole thing into mossy cobble or something. That might be actually kind of fun. But in the meantime, I actually have the wheat going right here to this chest. If you look at this gate, this is the controls. I have it set for this. It's when it contains less than 75% wheat, send out a blue pipe signal, and a blue pipe signal means the farm is on. Similarly, I actually moved this nether wart chest into this area because this was going to be the ingredients for potion making. And I have basically the same idea. When it contains less than 75% nether wart, send out a red pipe signal. And okay. Anyway, so the moistener. How do we get this thing to work? Well, we'll actually, you know what? It makes sense for us to talk about this a little bit in terms of the setup and how the moistener is going to function in creative first, because we haven't used one of these before, and I really haven't gone over it. So let's kind of go into a creative world and check it out. Here we are. So we're in a creative world now, and before we actually go and automate the moistener, it makes sense to kind of go over the moistener and how it functions. We did briefly, but we'll do this in more detail. It's actually probably a good idea to look first at the NEI recipe lists for the moistener, because it kind of gives you an idea of what you need in order to make this function. So it doesn't work if you just supply it with water and wheat. You need a substrate too. Some substrate to turn into something else that's a moist version of it, I guess. So you can actually take seeds and grow them into mycelium. So we could actually take the seeds from the farm and turn that into mycelium. But I want to keep the seeds just in case we want to make seed oil, because they're quick and cheap and dirty and easy to do that with. The other substrate you can use is cobblestone to make mossy stone, which is pretty useful, so that's why I think we're going to use this. This is free to make and easy to make, so that's also why I'm going to use it. And stone bricks you can turn into mossy stone bricks, also nice. So we actually might set up our moisteners to make all three of these in the future. We'll see. I'll see about that. That actually might be an idea. But anyway, you need water, wheat, and a substrate. Okay. So, right now it's the daytime, but as this time progresses, the moistener will actually speed up. So here's the moistener in action when it's actually functioning. It needs darkness, and in fact, if it's too light out, it actually does not work. You see, this is completely stalled. If I put that back, and now it keeps going again. So it needs to be dark enough in order for this to work, and the darker it is, the better. And what I've also found out is, essentially, when you place items in here, they come into the moistener and they'll be placed here. And then there's kind of a cycling that happens. They go through here and then get placed back here, and sometimes get placed back here in this section. If I place the items up top here, what will happen, it should actually... Okay, now it's actually taking that one item that it was using and transferring it all around. So it will kind of try to move stacks around somewhat here, so it's a little bit confusing the way this works. I honestly don't know exactly how it works. It's important for there to be an item slot that is free. Otherwise, it will not function. It cannot place the completed item, especially if it's a new one, anywhere. So that's why it's important to make sure there's an empty slot here. And the way in which we're going to work this is we're going to minimize the amount of wheat present, which should actually maximize the amount of mulch. It should encourage the later stages of wheat decay. So those stages are illustrated here. Wheat goes to be, see how that kind of moved the entire stack? But wheat turns into moldy wheat, and then moldy wheat turns into decaying wheat, and then decaying wheat turns into mulch. If you throw a stack of wheat here, it'll try to kind of do this conversion completely first. And then if you keep on adding wheat, it's going to be kind of stuck in this first conversion, trying to convert everything into moldy wheat until it sort of fills it up with moldy wheat, and then moving on to decaying wheat, and then moving on to mulch. I think there is some sort of smartness to it a little bit, but yeah, it's not complete. But we're going to kind of automate this process. Like I say, key to this is going to be minimizing the amount of wheat in here. I just want barely a little bit amount of wheat, enough for it to just function. And we're going to do that with some gates. And basically, that's yeah, that's it. All right, so let's get back into the world and start this thing going. Well, we're back here, and now it's time to automate. So the first step to consider is that we're going to have to kind of enclose this in something that's pretty dark. So we'll probably put half slabs in here where there are where there's room so that enemies don't spawn. The other point to note is that if we have pipes going in here to feed these things, light can transfer. Pipes are considered transparent, so light can travel through that block. So it's important to consider that we either have a chest or another block in between. So in this case, we're actually going to use a filtered buffer. This seems like a reasonable use for the filtered buffer, again, just because it's yeah, it's pretty useful kind of buffer block. It makes complete sense. All right, come on. So we used a filtered buffer before in the setup for the automated brewing, and we'll use it again here. So in this case, we'll have it set to accept wheat, and we'll actually have it set to accept. Here, I think we got to individually click. Come on, click, 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 click. Come on. Okay, we can fill it up with wheat if we want. And then basically, we will have it set to do very simply. Boom. And there's going to be a really good, easy way to transfer the wheat from here to here. Is do this, and we'll have it automated. We'll just put a iron gate there, an iron gate here, and a red pipe wire. And basically what we'll have it say is that if the... Oh, darn it, we need something better. We need a gold gate, actually. Let me grab one. I think I got one in here. Real quick, just before the nightfall. Yes, okay, I just need a gold and gate would be fine. So we could use blue pipe wire to be nice, but that's okay. Just because it looks kind of pretty. Alright, so gold pipe gate here, if there contains less than 75% of wheat, we'll say send out a red pipe signal. It turns the red pipe signal on. And in this case, if the red pipe signal's on, we want to do energy pulsar. So it'll pull out all the wheat. And basically, anytime wheat comes in here, it's going to go into here eventually until this thing is... oh, okay, there you go. It's like, wow, well, nothing went in. So until this thing is pretty much full, or 75% full of wheat. So that's great. So this will always have wheat on it. We have plenty of other wheat too. Actually, let's go back to this in a bit. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, the next step to consider, I'm gonna get this torch out of the way just because it's bugging me. All right, there you go. The next step to consider is where the moisteners are going to be placed and kind of the setup of and the conversion or inclusion of items here. We're going to try to make this pretty compact. So the items are going to get pulled out of this filtered buffer here and be added to the moisteners in the back. We're going to add it through the side and the back, and we're going to put 3 moisteners. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like right here. 1, 2, 3. How about there? That seems reasonable. All right, so moisteners go 1, 2, 3, but underneath them, this is where we're going to put the ignis extruders. These guys are going to generate the cobble. And what we can do is we can actually have it set up where one is given seeds, maybe over here, one is given cobble, and one is giving stone bricks in the future. But for now, we're just going to set it up like this. Pretty simple. And in order to make this thing work, we're also going to have to give it water. So in the front, I think is where we're going to put actually that would probably be a bad idea because we have to keep this thing dark. And water is going to let that light travel through. See, igneous extruders, when they're functioning, they actually give off a little light. If you place a block in front, then they will be all right. They're not going to give away any light. So we're going to put the moisteners right on top. We're going to pull items out the top, and we're going to fill it up with water on the side here. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this area. That way the igneous extruders are always surrounded by blocks, so they're not, they don't have to be, well, you know what I mean. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm going to get some water, though, here still, just so we can make another infinite spring if we need to, and we might need to. And one aqueous accumulator. It doesn't use that much water, so we should be able to, there you go, supply it with enough. So I think this will work just fine if we do it this way. 2, 3. That'll fill those up with water. There it goes. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, this is filling up with water just fine. That'll be plenty. And in the back, like I said, is going to be where the items will be transferred. And we're actually going to use a system for each of these moisteners to ask for wheat on its own. So maybe, you know, this one's going to ask for wheat, but maybe these two don't need it. So that means I'm going to have a system that decides where the wheat goes. And actually, an easy way of doing that is going to be with these diazuli pipes. And combining that with, so I have to actually set them up here. There we go. There you go. And I don't need the third one, actually. But I'm going to use it anyways because it's fun. So the diazuli pipes, and along those, I don't need quartz. We'll just use stone here. And combined with that, we're going to use an emzuli pipe. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to have pipe gates here that are going to request wheat at certain stages and send out a pipe wire, so maybe a signal. So it's maybe a red pipe wire signal will be sent, a green one, and a yellow one, or something like that. And when the red pipe wire is sent, it's going to set this emzuli pipe to pump out the wheat, and it's going to color it red. And then when the green one does the same thing, it's going to color it green, and the yellow one's going to color it yellow, and that way the paint on the items will decide which moistener wanted it. So that's kind of how it's going to be deciphered. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, you'll kind of see. And then the items are going to be pulled out like this, and then they're going to be transferred out somewhere. I'm not really sure where yet, but I'll figure that one out in a bit. And that's kind of the basic setup. I need to set up these igneous extruders, though. Hold on just a second here. So we need to first set it up with water. I'm going to set me up in an infinite spring over here, just so I can work with it. For now, this is going to be... I'll just set this up. Gosh, these infinite springs have been around for so long in Minecraft. It's just been... It's been great. Okay, there we go. There's those two. Let me get the third one in here. All right, and then we're going to need lava for them in order for them to function. But that way, this is sort of a free way of. You know, I'm not gonna do that yet. But let me be right back. I'm going to actually stick lava in here so that they can start producing cobblestone. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. The igneous extruders are going on their way, generating cobblestone, and we are ready to set up some of the logic here behind for sending wheat. Now, this is the most complicated part of this setup, and you'll notice that I actually moved the moisteners ahead one. What I figured out in sort of testing this is that diazuli pipes can't deliver items directly to moisteners if they're kind of in this. If they're configured to be right next to them. It just doesn't work out that way. I don't really know why. I think it might be a bug. So if you put one pipe in between, it's no problem. It's kind of it was a weird thing, but this should work just fine. So what we're going to basically do is have these diazuli pipes set up to call for, each moistener is going to call for its own, basically it's going to call for its need for wheat by using by pipe gates. So the pipe gates here are going to call for, each one is going to get its own pipe gate. Gold, or iron, gold, and diamond for talking to different types of pipe wires. Iron talks to the red pipe wire. Blue talks to the blue pipe wire. Oops, right here. And green is going to be the third color because it's fun and it's green. All right, cool. So basically what's going to happen is if we click on this emzuli pipe, green, red, and blue are going to all set the pipe to pull out wheat, it's just going to be different colors. Red is going to paint it red, green is going to paint it green, and blue is going to paint it blue. Alright, and then we got to set these diazuli pipes to route items based on their color, which is what it's set to. So if you just single right click, this decides what direction it's routed to. And the colors that are routed in that direction are shift right click. You can specify, so shift right click for red, shift right click cycles to get to blue, and shift right click to get to green. Okay, we don't actually need the last one, but we're going to have it anyways. Alright, so this should actually work. Now what we also do to set this up is we'll need an alt-archic OR gate for the diamond pipe. And basically we'll have to have 2 for each type of signal. And the reason why we have to have 2, we've gone over this before, is that in a previous episode where we put together the automated brewing setup, but to gonna go over it again, emzuli pipes need to have specified a that the energy pulse happens, right? Energy pulsar and energy pulsar. Okay, good. So these are going to all specify that pulse items in. The gold pipe will hopefully speed things up enough, and they'll be filling up with a little bit of wheat. Okay, so let me set these values. So what we can do is we can actually use, instead of using like items in or inventory empty, which doesn't really work honestly on this, we can use something like what's called either resources or fuel. In this case, wheat is the fuel. The resources are specified as whatever your substrate is. The fuel is whatever is in here. So if we have it set so that the fuel is less than 10%, the smallest amount possible, I can say send out a red pipe signal, and that should actually... Oh, we haven't set this to set the red extraction preset yet. Oops, no, we didn't want that. Red extraction preset. Okay, I'm actually going to set this to do those various things. Alright, good. And this has a bunch of wheat in it. This should actually be working. I'm not really sure why it's not. Alright, maybe it just has to be reset. Yeah, it has to just be reset again. So let me actually turn that off because I don't want it to send. I want to actually send these all at the same time just to see if it works that way. Okay, so that's okay. That'll work just fine. And fuel testing 10%. Green pipe signal. Okay, we're actually going to say green pipe signal, send it. Blue pipe signal, send it. And red pipe signal. We're going to send them all at the same time. This is kind of to test the system. It should route items accordingly. And they are indeed filling up and actually starting to go. It's actually dark enough in here. That's kind of weird. So all of these have at least something in there. It's funny that this one doesn't quite have enough yet, and it should be pulling out items. I'm not really sure why it's not pulling out items. It's a little strange. I don't know what's going on here. Why is this not pulling out items when these are actually all on? Huh. Because it's got the resources on, and it needs items, and then this is set to do its thing. Is it? It's like it needs to have something going on again. I'm really confused. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, I figured it out. This was set to single energy pulse for some reason. Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, okay. Woo. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now it should be working just fine. So until these should all shut off once they get their enough of their items. So it should be 10%, which could take a little bit of a long while, but not too long. Come on, items. Come on, items. Come on. Did one shut off yet? Yep, there's the blue shut off. Blue got it. Green and red. Okay, so they all got enough items, which is about... It's less than a stack is what's going to happen, or around a stack is going to be placed in there. That's perfect. Okay, good. And these are actually able to run now. Okay, so a little over a stack. This is about a stack. A little bit more for the one on the end than it is over here. That's pretty normal, though. But that's a nice, easy way of doing it, so that's actually pretty cool. And this guy is transferring because it's asking for it, right? So anything it's replaced, it's asking for it now because it has less than 75%. So once this gets 75% full, it's going to stop asking for wheat. After I just did a large transfer. Now, it's not going to transfer that much in time, but yeah. All right, so let me place the wall up here. I think it's good to wall this off at this point. And now it's going to be time to decide where the items are going to go. I think I'll actually just well, this should actually be pretty simple. I'll set it to go here. Let's see, where's the iron transport pipes? There they are. And I'm just going to set it. It doesn't need to be anything special. It doesn't need to be boosted or anything. And I'm just going to actually set it to go down here and put a chest, a double chest. I think I got some chests in here. Yeah, good. Okay. Right there. So that's where the items are going to go. And we'll need to set up the iron transport pipes to go this way. And then we need to set up the gates. And the gates are going to be... I think I'm going to specify, let's see, iron, alt, arctic, and gate should work just fine. Let me, I'll be right back. I need to get some. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got some alt, arctic gates now. As it turns out, we don't need the iron alt, arctics. We can just use the standard alt, arctics because of some cool special feature. So the normal... What's it say? Items in inventory. Okay, there's items in the inventory, but watch what happens when we take out mulch. Items are no longer in the inventory, so this specifies items that can be pulled out in the inventory. And in fact, you'll notice that if I even put in stone bricks here, it still reads items in the inventory now is true. So if anything's here, or if something can be pulled out over here, that's what it reads as items in inventory. So we're just going to set that to energy pulse when items are in the inventory. So that's real simple. Real simple. Super simple. Cool. All right. So that's pretty much automating it. So it's asking for wheat when it needs it. It'll take a while to need any more wheat than it already is. And they, as you see, they can start generating some mulch. So that's great. All right. So let me confine this sucker in place. I think what I will do is basically fill in with blocks areas that can spawn enemies, and that way I'll have a safety area here so that it's not going to spawn anything. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, it is done. It is done. It is done. I added upside down stairs on top of this chest so we can actually look. And oh, hey, we got some mossy stone. Cool. And a little bit more mulch. So it's a slow process, this generation of mulch. We can actually probably put in some more moisturizers if we wanted to, or moisteners, moisturizers. It looks kind of crummy though. It's just sort of a block. I want to kind of have maybe a feature that I kind of would like to add, and I think maybe let's do it. I want to add a little bit of a window here. So if I want to add a way of looking into this thing. So if I have these two blocks open, I can actually right-click and kind of check what's going on. I think we can do that. And I think we can do that by basically we'll have a I want to have a lever right here. I hope this works. No, you know what? I'm gonna have a lever right up. I gotta be careful about where I put this. I'm gonna try to put it here and see if it works. But basically, I have a lever right there. We'll have it talk to some pistons basically up here. All right. So I think. For now, let me get rid of this water pipes right now. And, okay, so we want the piston to be right at this level, right there. That's where the pistons are going to go. Two of them, two sticky pistons. And then we'll have sandstone right there. And then they'll be extended by default. So let me quickly put this up here. All right, I think I can get in through here is the easiest way to access those. All right, so there's a sticky piston. We'll do it this way. We got this. We got this, no problem. All right, let me just add some, I think I can just add redstone right on top, right? Is there a way to do that? I guess not. Yeah, okay, let me just add it right here then, I guess. So it goes farther. I actually don't like putting sandstone on underneath the redstone. Stone bricks are nice because they are harder to destroy. Alright, so I'll do that. We will take this cobblestone structural pipe, put that right here. Just a simple little circuit. It's not even a circuit, it's just a little... Okay, let's run some pipe wire. So I run red pipe wire and set iron OR gates so that when we get a... so that means it's up. So that in this state where it's not a redstone signal, the redstone signal is off. Yeah, okay, we want to do it this way. Okay. So if a redstone signal is on, send a red pipe, send a redstone signal. Okay, there we go. So this should work just fine. So when we go like this, there we go, it closes, up, down. Cool, right? Alright, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'll fix that in a bit. I'll fix that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, cool. So it's actually not particularly completely dark in here. And you can tell because of when I went inside there. Here, I'll actually show you. So here's the window. Works pretty nice. But if you go inside and close yourself in, you can actually see that it's not completely dark in here. There's actually light that enters in through the chest over there. So I'll probably move that eventually into something different. But for now, this actually is working pretty well. So it's still working quite well. That's okay. So I'll keep it like this for now. That's fine. I still don't love the look out of it. I think I'm going to probably do something to make it look a little nicer, give it like support poles or something fun. But I will do that in an off-camera type of way. It'll be a sort of a beautification project that I undertake. But anyway, for now, it's 8 and 6 right there. Nice. Okay, guys, I think that'll do it for this episode. I think that pretty much covers us. We put into farms and an automated moistener system, and I think I want to pretty up this area too, but that can probably wait. For now, this is looking pretty good. Expanding on this tree farm area, I really like it, and I love this golden planks of the papaya wood. That's so awesome. I think I'm going to make kind of this area that way too, and then transition somehow into that sort of standard wood over here. I kind of like that look. But I really like the way the golden wood looks with the sandstone. It looks really like pretty awesome. Okay. Alright guys, see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching. Take care.